The wire cleared on a Tuesday. $1.3 million. 11 years of building something nobody in your family ever fully understood. And you didn't celebrate. You sat in your driveway with the engine off and watched your father, 66 years old, lying on a flattened cardboard box under your car, draining the oil himself, because he said the shop would charge you $40 to do a $10 job. He had no idea about any of it. Then your phone buzzed. One text. Your brother. We should talk. You hadn't told him. You hadn't told anyone. The deal was private. The only people who knew were lawyers and a bank, and none of them know your brother exists. So how did he already know? You start typing. Delete it. Because you understand something in that moment that you will not be able to unlearn for the rest of your life. Money is the one secret that tells itself. You set the phone face down. Your father grunts, tightens the drain plug, and asks if you've got a funnel in the garage. Not did the deal close. Not are we rich now. Just funnel. You go get it. And for minutes, standing in your garage holding a plastic funnel, everything is still normal. Then your phone buzzes again. And again. 3 texts from your brother. The last one, just 2 words. Don't forget. And those 2 words are the first crack in something you didn't know could break. What you're remembering instead is a night 14 years ago. You were broke enough to hear the fridge humming because there was almost nothing inside it. And your brother, who had almost nothing himself, drove 40 minutes in the cold and pressed his last $40 into your hand and refused to take it back. Pay me when you're a millionaire. He'd laughed when he said it. You look at the text again. Don't forget. The Cookout word travels the way it always does. Through your mother, who can't hold a secret the way a screen door can't hold a draft. By the weekend, everyone knows. And families do what families do when something big happens. They throw a cookout. It's warm and it's loud, and it's exactly the kind of afternoon you'd have loved a year ago. Your uncle burning the burgers on purpose because that's his whole personality. Kids running through a sprinkler. And you moving through it. Watching everyone watch you a little differently than they used to. Your brother finds you with a beer in his hand and says it loud enough for the whole table to hear. Careful around this guy. He'll charge you for the ride home now. The table laughs. You laugh too. And that's the trap. Because it feels like love. It has the shape of love. The teasing, the whole family laughing at the kid who made good. Then the cousin you barely talk to slides in next to you. Half joking, all the way serious. So when you start hiring, you'll think of family first, right? He laughs. You laugh. Someone else laughs. A joke is just how people ask for something they're not brave enough to say out loud. You're starting to hear it now. Under every laugh, a small open hand waiting. The dealership you're not looking for it when it finds you. A recall notice, 40 minutes at a service desk, you'll never get back. You see him through the glass before he sees you. Your brother out on the lot, walking a salesman down a row of SUVs. The way a man walks when he wants to be seen walking. You know his paycheck. You know his rent. You know to the dollar what he can carry. And the truck he's circling isn't one he can carry. He sees you. Doesn't look caught. Looks delighted. Perfect timing. Tell me this isn't clean. He slaps the hood like he already owns it. And you understand immediately. This was never about the truck. He saw your car last week. This is his answer. For 20 minutes, you watch your brother sell himself a vehicle he doesn't want. To impress a brother who never asked him to. He says the price out loud without being asked, then checks your face to see if it landed. He's not buying a truck. He's buying back the few inches he thinks he lost the day your wire cleared. And here's the part you can't say out loud. You would trade every dollar to get back the brother who drove 40 minutes in the cold to hand you his last $40. That one gave when he had nothing. This one is spending money he doesn't have, so the gap between you won't show. People don't resent your success. They resent what it says about their own choices. The kitchen table he calls you. Not a text, a call. Wants to run something by you. And there's a softness in his voice you haven't heard in months. The old softness. And against everything you just watched on that lot, it works. You say yes before you've hung up. You sit at his kitchen table. The same table you've sat at 100 times. He's nervous. Almost enough to trust. Then he says the number. $40,000. Under the table, 14 years quietly rearranged themselves. $40 then. $40,000 now. Pay me when you're a millionaire. He's not asking for a loan. In his mind, he's collecting one. It can't lose, he says. Those exact words. 80% confidence, 20% detail. This is the moment you're supposed to say no. You say yes. Not to the deal. To the face across the table. to the small chance the money buys back the brother who drove through the cold. It's only money, you tell yourself. You of all people can afford to be wrong about $40,000. The relief on his face almost makes it worth it. Almost. For 2 weeks, it seems like you were right. He shows up one Sunday with 2 coffees and a ladder strapped to that truck. Says he noticed your gutters were sagging. Climbs up and fixes them. 3 hours. Won't take anything for it. Halfway up the ladder, he looks down and grins. The real grin. The 14 years ago grin. And says, I'm paying back every dollar. You know that, right? Standing in your own yard holding a coffee he bought. You believe him completely. You let your guard all the way down. That's when it goes. The call comes the next Sunday. The deal that couldn't lose lost all of it. No apology. No thank you for the $40,000 that just evaporated. He wants more. The first $40,000 was just to get in, he says. Pulling out now wastes it. You wouldn't even feel another $30,000. He says it like your money is a limb that's gone numb. You sit with the phone to your ear and you don't say anything. You're not thinking about the $30,000. You're thinking about the ladder, the gutters, the grin. How he must have already known about this call that Sunday morning. The coffee, the gutters, all of it. The down payment wasn't kindness. It was a deposit. So you say no. Your first no. It comes out softer than you mean it to. He goes quiet. Says okay. Says I get it. Hangs up. 2 days of silence. Then your mother calls. She opens with a sentence that tells you exactly who got to her first. Why are you doing this to your brother? You start to explain the $40,000. The deal that lost. The second ask. And you hear her go quiet on the other end. Not listening. Waiting for you to finish so she can say the thing she called to say. He's struggling, she says. And you have so much now. There it is. So much now. As if the number changed what you owe her. As if love came with a sliding scale and yours just went up. You want to tell her he didn't lose the money. He set fire to it and called you for more gasoline. Instead, you say, I'll think about it. After you hang up, you realize he didn't argue with your no. He didn't need to. He just walked down the hall and let your mother carry the message back. He's not fighting you. He's recruiting. A boundary feels like betrayal to anyone who was counting on a yes. Thanksgiving you almost don't go. You sit in the same driveway where this started and you think about turning around. But you go in, because not going would be its own confession. For an hour it almost holds. Everyone careful. The conversation stays on safe things. Your brother is across the table, not next to you, which someone arranged without saying so. A few drinks in. Quiet in a way you've never seen him at a table. Your father asks you plainly how the new place is coming along. The only person all night who asks you a normal question like you're a normal person. Before you can answer, your brother sets down his fork. Must be nice. Not loud. Almost gentle. And the table doesn't go silent right away. A couple people keep talking, then trail off when they feel it. Your mother says his name once, soft. He's looking at you. No grin. No joke. Something tired underneath it. We lost you the day that money came in. You didn't get rich. You just stopped being one of us. And the worst part, the part that makes it land instead of bounce, is that he isn't shouting. He believes it. He says it the way you say something you've been carrying for months. Quietly. Almost sadly. Like he's grieving you at your own dinner table. Nobody defends you. Not because they agree with him. Because silence is easier than picking a side out loud. And silence, you're learning, is its own answer. You set down your napkin. You make an excuse. And nobody fights you on it. That's the loneliest part of the whole night. How easy you are to let leave. The driveway. Again. You're almost at your car when you hear footsteps on the gravel behind you. Not fast. Not your brother's. Your father. He doesn't say anything about what just happened in there. He just stands with you in the cold for a second, looks at your car, and says drive safe. Call your mother in a few days. Then he pats the roof twice. The way he's done since you were 16. And goes back inside to a table that just broke. 3 weeks later, on a Wednesday, your mother calls. Hospital. Come now. You don't remember the drive. You remember the hallway. Your brother already there, against the wall. And for the first time in a year, there is nothing between you. No money. No truck. No scorekeeping. Just 2 sons in a hallway. His face crumples. You put your hand on his shoulder, and he lets you. Your father is awake. Smaller than you've ever seen him. But awake. He tells you what he's never told anyone. The money that got you started, what you always thought were his savings, a little cushion he'd kept aside. It wasn't his savings. It was land. 40 acres upstate. Your grandfather's land. The only thing your father ever owned that meant anything. He sold it the spring before you started, and folded the money into the beginning of you and never said a word. Not when the business nearly died. Not when it turned. Not the Tuesday the wire cleared and you became the first millionaire in the family. You stood on soil he'd given up so you could stand anywhere at all. You ask him why. Why keep it a secret? Why let you think you did it alone? He tells you about his own brother. Money he lent him once, a long time ago. And after that, the money was always in the room between them. At every holiday, every phone call, sitting at the table like a third person, until one day his brother just stopped coming. Because it's easier to lose a brother than to sit across from a debt. I wasn't going to put a number between us, he says. So I made sure there wasn't one to find. He closes his eyes. Send your brother back in, he says. You're both still mine. That's the whole sermon. The $10 job, it's a Saturday, a few months later. Your father's car is making a sound he doesn't like, and he's about to drive it to the shop. You tell him no. You've got it. So you lie down on a flattened cardboard box on your own driveway and slide under his car. And you change his oil. It's a $10 job. The shop would charge $40. That was never the reason. You're under there longer than the job takes, on your back in the quiet. Your hands doing the thing his hands did. And you finally understand what he was saying all those years, with a wrench and a toolbox, and every small thing he fixed without being asked. He was never fixing the car. He was saying I love you in the only language he had. The one that doesn't ask for anything back. The one that doesn't keep score. The one you couldn't hear until the year everyone else got loud. You tighten the drain plug. You slide out into the light. Your father is standing on the porch watching you. Not saying anything. You don't say anything either. The money didn't change your family. It just turned the lights on and showed you who'd been loving you in the dark the whole time.